Good morning. We are at the midpoint of the 23rd week of Ordinary Time in our Catholic Church's liturgical year. I thought I would begin today and then move through the next few weeks with a review for all of us about the nature of prayer, whether it's our personal private prayer or the public prayer, the public liturgies of our Catholic Church, what prayer really is. And then for each of us, there are, as the fourth section of the Catechism of the Catholic Church lays out so beautifully for all of us, the four, if you will, expressions of prayer. Whatever the moments in our lives, as soon as we go to Almighty God, we are placing literally ourselves in His presence. Now we have to understand a few things about prayer. First of all, God is ever present to us at every moment of every day of our lives. The second thing is, we are not going to shock or surprise Almighty God with whatever we bring before Him in our prayers. He already knows us better than we know ourselves. And the third thing, which is exceedingly important for us to understand about our prayer, especially our personal private prayer, is that we can enter into a very intimate human conversation with Almighty God. Again, with our prayers, we obviously aren't going to give God something He lacks or needs. God lacks nothing. He's all perfect. He needs nothing. He is in and of Himself perfect. And so prayer is two things for us: an expression of my faith, and it's the basic way that I not only communicate with God, but I receive from God the graces I need to live my daily life in a virtuous manner. The final thing in general about prayer is this: there are four expressions of prayer. I can remember as a little boy in grade school, in first grade as a matter of fact, I was fortunate enough to go to a Catholic parish school in my hometown, and we had sisters teaching us, and the sisters were very solicitous for us that we know and understand the essentials of our Catholic faith. And one of the things they taught us from early on, it's a beautiful way of remembering the expressions of prayer. They taught us these four expressions, and I recall Sister printing on the blackboard in first grade for all of us the four letters A-C-T-S. Now, we're first graders, and so Sister had to explain each of the words those four letters represented. It makes the word acts, but they represent the expressions of our prayer: adoration, contrition, thanksgiving, and supplication. When you pause and just think about how you pray and what you say or meditate on from day to day in your private prayer, those really are the four expressions of our prayer. Our prayer usually combines all or a few of those four expressions together, but those are the four expressions of prayer for all of us: our private prayer, the Church's public and communal prayer. Those elements are the elements of prayer. And so in the coming weeks, we will look at each of those four expressions: adoration, contrition, thanksgiving, and supplication. For the rest of this week and until next week when we have our next conversation, in your daily prayer, keep in mind those four expressions, and in your faith and hope, persevere in prayer and listen carefully for God's answer. He always answers our prayer.